Hi Cancer, and welcome to the Mother Tressa channel. If you're already familiar with this space, then you already know what it is and you already know what to expect. So welcome back. So glad to have you back. But if you are new, then definitely come on in and feel free to be your most authentic self wherever you are energetically, be it positive, negative, or neutral. It really doesn't matter, so long as you leave better than you came. I have to warn that I do tend to trigger people, so just be very careful if you know that you haven't done enough work with healing any traumas that you may have, or enough work just spiritually when you watch my videos. Okay, you definitely have to be in a place where you feel like you can handle the hard truths when you watch my videos. Okay, definitely give me a thumbs up if the message resonates, and subscribe by the end of it if you feel like you enjoy what I bring to this space, this platform, and you want to see more of me. Okay, let's start to get into it. What you have as the overlying energy is the Ten of Swords, and the cruise that hounds you is the Nine of Swords. What's real about the situation is the Six of Swords. This is interesting. So much swords energy for a cardinal water sign. This is strange, I have to say. What's wrong about the situation? You guys have the Hierophant. Okay, where you need more information, you guys have the Seven of Cups. And where you guys end up, you have the Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. All right, bottom of the deck, you have the Fool card. Underneath that is the Strength. So you can be dealing with a Leo. You can be a cusp, whereas you're right at the cutoff of Cancer and the start of Leo as a zodiac sign. And this can be for either tropical astrology or sidereal. I am learning about both, so I feel like energetically when I do my readings, both come out in certain ways. So here we go. I heard skating on thin ice. I feel like somebody has definitely been dancing on the last little nerve that you have, and really trying your patience, okay? Because you have the Ten of Swords here, and then you're crossed by the Nine of Swords. Now, when you look at that, what's missing from the 9 going to the 10? It's usually 1, right? If you're doing math and according to your calculations, right? In the way that we've been taught or conditioned. 9 plus 1 is 10. So one of those swords is definitely you and your belief systems, and the way that you challenge thought, and maybe the way that you challenge other people's thoughts and or patience here. But the other 9 are not your energy. So being, again, that you are a water sign, you can tend to absorb a lot of other people's issues and or problems, and just depending on the type of people that you surround yourself with, they can be just instilling their fears into you, and you take that on into your own personality, and that causes you to be paranoid, or that causes you to have a more anxious disposition, if you will. Stress a lot easier, or you're a lot more easily stressed out by things. But again, with all of this energy, then with these swords, this is you with this 6, and you see how he has the purple little cloak, right? This is you now being an observer to your emotions and your thoughts, and being able to identify which ones actually belong to you and what is coming from, again, the fears or paranoia of other people. So say you're in a successful, healthy marriage, and you read a lot about these people that are contracting STDs, STIs, or just all of these stories about these other people that are cheating on their wives, and a lot of people having the idea that every man cheats or that every woman cheats. It's like, okay, but look at your own personal relationship. Has there ever been any problems of fidelity. If not, then you can trash that. And why can you trash that? Okay, having that empirical evidence here with the Hierophant card in the what's wrong position, needing to implement a little bit more of this. Okay, why is it that we don't have these issues? Well, for one, you don't tend to go places like the strip club with your partner, or even without your partner, because it's just not your forte. That's not your cup of tea, right? You don't put yourself in compromising positions. You're not going to go over to, if you're in a heterosexual relationship, to the house of a person of the opposite sex that is not married and that is not inviting you and your companion to go. You know what I mean? Because what is that? Most likely a setup for failure. You know, there just is no need for you to be thinking about like worst case scenarios. That's what's really coming through here at the end of the day. Now, going back to that skating on thin ice, I feel like, again, somebody's really been like pushing your buttons, or has been saying a lot of things like underneath their breath, is what I'm hearing that you hear. And this can be friends, or this can be a partner that you've been dealing with. But I feel like with this swords energy, if you've been a little bit more quiet, and it's like you just like, you hear it and you internalize it, but you haven't necessarily done anything about it or voiced your opinion and how that has made you feel, then now is the time for you to be a little bit more comfortable with doing so. If you want some crystals that can help you with practicing vocalizing your opinion, I would suggest blue calcite. That helped me tremendously when I first started. But also, though it can seem a little silly, talk to yourself and play through the words and what it is that you want to say a few times. Like, do those rehearsals. Here, I'm also getting that with the Hierophant energy. With the Hierophant in the what's wrong position, I would say lean on the Bible more, or that type of counselor or mentor that has that certification. Somebody that is definitely a credible, reputable source to go to, though, because some people are just in it for the money, right, the business. But I would say lean on that some more, lean on some scriptures if you've been having these very highly intense moments with your partner, because you can already be married with the Seven of Cups being in the where you need more information position. And so you might be approaching that 7-year itch, or just understanding that things happen in cycles and in waves, right? With the water energy in this cups. And so it's you not attaching your identity to the way that you feel in the moment when you get upset, right? Because emotions and feelings, they're temporary. You can be highly upset or highly annoyed by someone today, and then you wake up tomorrow and you just have a completely different aura and or energy, as does that person. They may do something sweet, and then all of a sudden now you're persuaded and you like them more, you know? So I would definitely say lean more on the Bible if you're already in a marriage. And you need some scripture to kind of bring you back to earth and ground you from making a permanent decision that you could regret, with the Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Wands being at the bottom, and just moving really fast and making just very quick decisions that are very permanent and lasting. So just be very careful with that energy. I definitely feel like if things have been tense and you learn to vocalize how you have felt over the past 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years in dealing with this person and or being married to this person, there can be some changes on their way. Like, they understand, like, they don't have a lot of grace, you know, that you can continue to extend to them before you just run out of patience, right? Before it's just the last straw, is what I'm hearing. So I definitely feel like they are going to get their act together. If you guys have been separated, with the Hierophant being in the what's wrong position, with the Seven of Cups in the where you need more information position, I feel like that you need to know this person is really getting their act together. They're done with being oblivious. They're done with not contributing. They're done with all of the sarcasm They're done with being extremely dry and or reserved. That can come through with the Swords energy. Maybe you've been dealing with somebody that's just really shy and you feel like you have to work really hard to pull things out of them with this Swords energy. They are trying to work on being more conversational with this Pentacles energy. They're trying to really work on their finances. You know, I definitely see a hardworking individual with the Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Wands as a pair of cards. Like extremely dedicated and really loyal also. Like somebody that wants to prove their worth, or that really feels like they have to prove a point here too. So if you're not dealing with an individual and this is just you in society, your career and what it is that you're trying to do, it's like you're at that point where you feel like you have a lot to prove, but not necessarily to the world at large, but more so to yourself. Or just keep that in mind, that you're not doing this to be flashy here. You're not doing this to be popular, but you're doing it because, hell, if you don't, you'll always wonder why you didn't, you know? You're doing this to prove that you are brave. You're doing this to prove that you are an exceptional individual. That's what I'm hearing, exceptional. Whatever you're involved in or whatever it is that you may be learning about at this time, you're doing this to show that you can diversify your portfolio. You know what I mean? There's more to you than what a lot of people know or what they have seen and maybe have made judgments about with the Swords energy and being judgmental. Or again, if you're involved with another individual, this is what they're wanting to come in with. Like, I am romantic, you know, I am affectionate, I can be a conversationalist, I can be adventurous. Like, let me show you who I really am in essence with this Wands energy, as opposed to the idea or the impression of me that I may have given off before, right? And again, how cold and calculating this person may have come off before. It's like, yes, there's reason for it. And they want to explain also with this Pentacle energy why that is, because you see family here. So it may have to do with their background and or their culture, upbringing, what they're accustomed to, or again, just societal norms and or the pressures put on to them and what has been normal. It's like somebody's wanting to challenge what has been normal. Or again, wanting to shed light on what has been normal for them so that you better understand who they are and why they may have behaved the way that they have. But in them being so transparent, it warms your heart and makes you want to potentially give them another chance, right? To turn the page and to start anew, because at the bottom of the deck, you do have the Fool card and the Strength card. If things have been dry on the work and career front, I definitely feel like you will be seeing brighter days ahead. Your money is about to just explode and grow. So if you've been unemployed, this is a new job with a higher ceiling than you've known. And the potential to grow is very high. Can definitely be something that you're already passionate about. So just be mindful when you're applying for jobs, okay? Ten of Pentacles can also be like blessings that just fall into your lap. So you can be winning money here with this Wands energy and the Ten of Pentacles. If you try something that's a little bit more risky, I definitely see you being successful in that. A successful business venture for sure. Or you're just up for a promotion. I just see an explosion of money. If you go to the casino, as long as you go before Mercury is retrograde, I'm always just like, okay, green light, go ahead, try your luck at it. You just never know. If it's been hard and it's been a little bit more bleak and or boring, or things have been a little bit too rigid, I definitely see an increase in flexibility and again, one's explorative nature coming back around. Like the fun side of who you are or this person you could be dealing with is coming back around. So that's what I'm seeing, Cancer. If this reading resonated, give me a thumbs up. Share this with your friends and family. Subscribe if you haven't, and book with me should you need to. But if I don't hear from you, then please just take care of yourself and your soul until you hear from me again. Ciao.